generations. And now, the power of two restores the one.
We got a bidet! Hey everybody, and welcome back for another video. Today's video, we are talking about some of the new content coming to MLB the Show. I think it's next week, like a week from Friday, week from Thursday, something like that. It's next week. And what that information is some of the new stuff coming for season 3 of MLB the Show. So they did put out some information about what's going to be happening for season 3. So we're going to go ahead, we'll go ahead and read it together and just kind of make heads or tails of what's going on here for the final season of what I would call new content. Of course, there will be season 4, but season 4 is, I mean, in the past, it's basically like a catch-up season. Like if you didn't do things, and it's like if you were late to the game and you joined during like season 2 or season 3, well, then you can get some stuff from the previous seasons and, you know, not have to pay an arm and a leg to get there. But let's go ahead and take a look. So this is a deep dive into season 3. I do wonder if we'll get a Twitch stream as well as we get closer, but we'll have to wait and see. So it says prepare for season 3. So we're going to be transitioning from season 2 to season 3. So what to expect on August 29th. Okay, so that is 2 weeks from Thursday. What to expect. Earn XP reward path bosses earlier than ever in 2 6-week XP reward paths. Interesting. I wonder if this is kind of like a testing the waters before we get to MLB the Show 25 to see how that pans out. We're going to get season 3.1 XP rewards. So 299 bosses in that first chunk. And then in season 3.2, being the second half, we're going to get 3 more 99 bosses. So there's going to be 5 99 bosses altogether in season 3. Complete Head Start goals now for 60,000 XP on day 1. I'm sure they'll talk about that later. Earn 3 wildcard slots in the season 3 collection, plus bring core Ernie Banks. So if we're earning that in the season 3 collection, that means we're having to collect cards to unlock the wild cards, and not just getting them in the reward path, in the XP reward path. Team Affinity starts with 95 overalls and 30 players in new card series. So we did hear about a new card series. We got a picture of it. I wonder if they're going to show it here in this little blurb as well. But looks like instead of going back to like 85, 87, 89, or low 90s, it looks like we're going to kick off at 97, which means I think chapter 1 will probably be 95s, and then we'll go to 97s in chapter 2, and then 99s in chapter 3, which I wonder if they're going to split it into 2 chapters with the way that they're doing the XP path, or if they're still going to have 3 chapters, and then they're just going to work around the 2 halves. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so we covered all that. See, higher overalls at launch and accelerated power curve. Season 3 brings another reset, of course, but with a lot of changes as you rebuild your squad once more. Season 3 will start with player rewards at 95 and higher. For example, Team Affinity is filled with 95 overalls, and Ranked World Series rewards have 97 overall players. We hope that this still provides the same sense of fresh start to your team build. As we move throughout season 3, the power curve will progress faster as well, with 99 overalls coming along as we get into the exciting MLB postseason. So let's think about it. So season 3 is going to start on the 29th. The postseason starts like the first week, second week of October. And so we're gonna get basically all of September, and then right after September, which is, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks into the season 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. After about 5 weeks, so maybe after that first half of season 3, the 3.1, maybe after that is when those 99s, that would make sense. Because if you get 99s at the end of that first half chunk, you'd probably want to keep getting more 99s, and that would be where that postseason content is. So I think that's probably how it's going to line up. Uh, One thing I also want to point out is they're talking about the restart again. I've seen a lot of backlash on the restart, as in, like, we've kind of learned already that people don't like it, so why are we just going to rehash it again? You have to stick to the status quo essentially with the game. It was announced in the very beginning that this is how it was going to be. And so they were able to, with 3 separate seasons, kind of play with and, see what works well, see what doesn't work well, see if it even, is appealing. And I think they're going to get their feedback enough to, take what they learned and put better things into the next game. But there's no way they're just going to abandon this, for season 3. They're going to stick to the status quo. They're going to try something different to see if it's a little bit better, and then, reflect and see what they want to do for their next game. So I'm not surprised that they're going to keep the restart. Um, but I did see on social media some people were surprised, and you can't just jump ship. That's why. 2 new XP reward paths. So we did talk about that already. So there's going to have season 3 will feature 2 separate and shorter XP reward paths lasting 6 weeks, 6 weeks each. Each XP path is 350,000 XP long. So that is shorter. So the XP reward path right now for season 2, I think, is like 1,150,000 for the whole thing. That's considerably shorter. Now, I don't know, I don't remember how many days season 2 was, but it makes me wonder how this lines up with, uh, it is a shorter amount of time with season 1, and that's why they kind of, transitioned it down to 350,000, or is it still going to be about the same amount of time as a half of a season? There's just less in the reward path. Also, are they going to have at the end of the first half one, are they going to have the thing that, keeps rotating and churning out more rewards as you do 30,000 XP? Is that going to be there too? I'm not sure yet. This says, which means you will be unlocking the boss rewards much quicker than past seasons. The first XP reward path in season 3 will feature 2 overall Hall of Fame bosses, but there are also other rewards along the way. So if you're kind of wondering who might it be, well, check your list of Hall of Fame players. That might narrow it down. Here are the player rewards you can find in the 3.1 XP reward path. So 95 overall player item at 20,000, 97 overall player at 90,000, and your first boss opportunity is 160,000. The second one will be at the very end, 350,000. Keep in mind, the 3.1 reward path will expire in 6 weeks to make room for the new 3.2. It will come loaded with 3 new overall bosses. With these improvements to the XP reward path, we expect many of you will reach the bosses quicker and get them on your squad. So I do like this idea of getting them a little bit quicker. I just wish they were a little just more peppered throughout, because like all the 99 bosses are at the end of the XP reward path. Just take the reward path, divide that number by 3, and slot them in. Okay, it's not that hard. That way we can get one early on, we can get one kind of in the middle, and we can get one kind of at the end. It's almost like, I mean, if you're theoretically completing the team affinities in the third chunks, You get one kind of at the end of the first team if it at chapter 1, you get one around chapter 2, and you get the last one around chapter 3. But I mean, that's just me. All right. Okay, gameplay XP cap changes in double XP weekend. So the launch of season 3 is your chance to get on the fast track towards the 99 overall XP bosses. Great. We will be launching season 3 with a double XP weekend over the Labor Day holiday weekend. In addition, starting in season 3 and throughout the rest of MLB The Show 24, the cap on daily gameplay XP will be doubled from 15,000 to 30,000. So it looks like that's going to be a permanent change. So I have never hit 15,000 in one day. I know some people have, people get upset about it. I've never done it. So if this is probably a welcome change for a lot of people that do play the game enough where they would hit that cap. All right. What can I do now in season 2 to prepare for season 3? Well, get that Ernie Banks because that'll be a 99 you can use on day 1 by collecting 35 action figure players and completing the action figure collection. You can obtain 99 overall action figure Ernie Banks, which is a core item, meaning you can use it in any season. Uh, let's see. I wonder if they're going to just say what I'm about to say. Yeah, they are. With the addition of the Moonshot program on August 16th, there will be exactly 35 action figure players that you can earn solely through gameplay. So you can get action figure cards from the Team Affinity Chapter 3. You can get the action figure cards from the Moonshot program. So between those two things, if you complete Chapter 3 for all of them, and the Moonshot program, you should have enough to earn the Ernie Banks without having to sink any stubs into any players, which is awesome. You might think, well, there's not enough. There is enough. Trust me. So like when you are collecting them along the way in the collection, you unlock more that will count towards this. Like I think there's a Max Scherzer in there, and I think there's a Giancarlo Stanton. So like those two cards will count in the special collections as you go as well. So nice, easy. Oh yeah, there they are. Okay. Head start reward. So this is important. This is what you want to get done now before season 3. So if you do not do this before season 3 starts, you cannot go back and try to get this head start like bonus stuff. You have to have this done before season 3 turns around. So let's see. If you complete any of these, you will get some sort of head start. But if you want the maximum head start, you want to do all of them. So completing the Hall of Fame Adrian Beltre program, complete the Moments of Glory program, which I will say that was pretty difficult. I know I put that up here on the channel. It took, if you were to do it perfectly, it takes around an hour and 20 minutes. I did not do it perfectly. It took me a long time to do that video. So that takes some investment. Unlocking All-Star Game Paul Skeens through the 2024 All-Star Week collection. Unlocking Season Awards Lightning Brenton Doyle through the Season Awards Program collection. Unlocking action figure Max Scherzer by collecting 20 action figure players on your way to the core Ernie Banks. So we can kind of see here. This is what that screen will look like when you boot up season 3, and hopefully you will have as many check marks as you desire. It says completing these tasks individually provides rewards, but completing all 5 tasks will reward you with 60,000 XP on day 1 of season 3. With the new shortened XP reward path, you will start only 100,000 away from your first XP reward path boss. And don't forget, they'll have a double XP weekend. So theoretically, if you have this jump start with the 60,000, you got 100,000 to go. That's like 50,000 during double XP reward weekend. So if you're grinding during that time over 2 days, you could get your first one. But again, I don't even do that. So if that's not something that you do, don't think everybody else does because we don't. Team Affinity returns with a new card series, so this is kind of like our little tease, I suppose. A new season means new chapters of Team Affinity, and we've got a strong set of players dropping in Team Affinity Season 3, Chapter 1. And a brand new card series, look out for fan favorite legends such as Randy Johnson and Mariano Rivera, as well as a mix of current players among the 30 clubs. I hope to God that we are not going to beat a dead horse here with this next set of cards and just have rehash, rehash, rehash. Let's not do that. Let's have some other representation in there as well. There's one more change coming. Missions in Season 3 Team Affinity programs will not have in-season requirements. Mix and match in-season and out-of-season theme teams to earn Team Affinity progress. Read ahead to find out which. Okay, this is interesting. We'll talk about it in a second here. We wish we could tell you more and show you more of this card, but that will have to wait. So this is our little preview of what the next, card series is going to be like. Of course, we don't have the bottom half of this card. So maybe the bottom half tells us what that series is called, and that's just what we're missing. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, before we go too far ahead, I do want to reiterate something here. So it says, once we get into season 3, Team Affinity programs will not have in-season requirements. What that means, so like when you normally went into Team Affinity and you looked at the missions, so like strikeouts, hits in single player mode, multiplayer mode, all that jazz, um, they will not have the must be season 3 eligible to work towards this. It sounds like all hands are on deck for it. Like you can use whatever players you want. The only probably down further is where they'll show that chart because they said they'll talk about it in a minute. But for instance, if you're in ranked, you're gonna have to use probably season 3 cards. But a lot of the single player stuff, like me, I would like to use some of my season 1, season 2 cards in season 3. We have some cool cards from back then, and so I'm hoping to, you do some stuff here on this reward path and not have to worry about, oh, does it have S1, S2, or S3 up there? Because I think my favorite card so far is Tarek Skubal, the 99 awards card, season awards, I should say. And he's a season 2 card, I believe. And so it's like I can't really use the 99, right? Or no, he's not season 2, he's season, I don't remember what season. But needless to say, there's the live series version, there's the All-Star version, which is a 95, and then there's the season awards, which is 99. And I want to make sure to use the 99 all the time. So, okay, understanding wildcard player slots in season 3. So, wildcard slot allows you to add any player item from previous seasons, so season 1 or season 2, onto our season 3 squad. You can earn 3 wildcard slots from season 3 collection starting on August 29th, with the 4th coming out at a later date. This is a change from season 2 when they were in the XP reward path. Our goal is for these 3 wildcard slots to be much quicker to obtain than they were in season 2. So here's how to unlock it. Collect 1 season 3 player, collect 15 season 3 players, and then collect 50 season 3 players. So, I mean, depending on what they drop, on day 1, the first 2 could be very easy because if we have, a season awards, that's a handful of free player cards. If we have any sort of program that has season 2 or season 3 cards come out, those will count. Plus season 3 cards from Team Affinity, which some people do that stuff in a weekend. Not me, but some people do. Right there would be like 30 cards. So I think the first and second will be not too hard to get, probably within the first week or two. And then, of course, the 50 cards, that might take a little bit more time. But I don't know about you guys. I do not really use the wild card slot too much. I'm too afraid that it's not going to count towards my stuff when I'm unlocking missions and whatnot, so I just don't do it. Not until I've completed everything else and then I'm just competing online. All right, so here's that chart or table, whatever you want to call it, for what counts where and what can you use. So we know Team Affinity is not going to care about season 1, 2, or 3. It's just all going to count. But here we can see, where can we use our cards. So ranked solo, you can only use core or season 3 cards. Everything else says all cards available. Conquest and mini seasons has a little asterisk because there are certain mini seasons and conquests that have special requirements. So if they say like mini seasons last year when they were, in my opinion, a little bit more creative, um, only lefties could be used, or only righties can be used, or maybe only switch hitters can be used. Small requirements like that. Could be part of it. But other than that, oh, and events. Looks like they have the asterisks too. So other than that, it looks like the grand majority of things you'll be able to use any card that you want, which is really interesting. It's kind of like a prelude into season 4 in a way. But okay, what will happen to my season 1 and 2 items when season 3 goes live? You'll keep them. They're not going to dump it. They'd get in a lot of trouble if they did that because people, use real money to buy stubs and stuff. Season 3 and Season 4 item eligibility. So Season 4 will be the final season of MLB The Show 24 and will have no restrictions. So you can use any card for anything that you want, it sounds like, for Season 4. This also means that any cards released during Season 3 will never be restricted, as they are eligible in their own season and in Season 4 too. Make sure to go after the best Season 3 cards you can get your hands on, as they have performance, or permanence, not performance, permanence throughout the rest of MLB The Show 24. Okay, so, I think that was kind of assumed that happened last year as well. The last new content-driven stuff, which is going to be Season 3 and this year, that's going to be piggybacked right behind the final season, meaning whatever you get from here on out, you can use whenever you want. Looking forward, what's ahead in Season 3 and beyond? Throughout September, several programs will be dropping, including Roberto Clemente Day, just like we get every year. As we move into October, we will be bringing you reactive live content based on the biggest moments of the MLB postseason. So what is that probably going to look like? My guess is this season, like the weekly season award drops, those are probably going to turn into postseason because, not everybody will be playing anymore. And so they just transition their focus to the people that are playing. Stay tuned for weekly postseason content as teams make a World Series run. Oh, and one more program is coming out in Season 3. And this is our little tease. My guess is that is the Extreme program. So I'm not super good at extreme stuff. So I'm definitely not going to be able to complete all of it. But anything that I can do, I will put up on the channel just to show you guys kind of what I did to give you a little hint of, what could help you if you are struggling. Just like everything else on the channel, that's why I do it. You can go ahead, you can watch the video, kind of see what I did, learn from the patterns, because not everything is exact, right? But the patterns would do work over and over again. So that was the information we got on Season 3. That is a lot of information. I think really the only information we don't have is what is the new card series, right? And who is going to be representative of those cards. So it sounded like a lot of those cards are going to be Legends cards for the Team Affinity Chapter 1 cards. I don't know how I feel about that because, again, there hasn't been very many new Legends, and there's a lot of them that we are just, beating to death. to put lightly. So I'm curious to see who we get for the Tigers. I'm kind of wondering if it'll be. See, we've had Trammell, we've had um, Clark. Pretty sure it's Clark. Uh, I think we've had a Prince Fielder card. My guess is we're probably gonna get a Gibson, or we're gonna get a. Oh, the name is escaping me. I can see them in my mind, but I can't figure it out. There's a couple other ones I feel like they haven't used quite yet that they could use here, so we'll just have to wait and see. But if you enjoyed this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Drop us a like if you like the video, and drop us a comment letting us know your thoughts on Season 3. Are you excited? Are you not excited? What are your criticisms of what you've heard about in the video today? What do you think they're doing right? What are they doing wrong? And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.